2, 3.
Here.
I got a story. Story once was told. Two young boys go into the liquor store where they sold their soul. I got a story.
Hello and welcome to recorded audio transmission podcast. Dude, I totally butchered that. I meant to say
good, bro.
Wet Bandits recorded audio transmission. Yeah, so
This is the Wet Bandits from the year 5000, and they
Yeah.
time traveled to have this podcast with us.
that's right. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so I had a moment of panic as the theme song started playing, and I was like, oh, I forgot what I was going to say, and that's why I butchered it. Also, you and I are playing a little bit hurt today.
Hurt?
Yeah, I'm hurt. Like, I'm sick as a dog.
Sick as a dog.
Just a cold.
Yeah.
Also, a fucking thing grew out of my head last night.
Dude.
Just kidding. No.
I'm still a little bit sore.
Yeah, from the top of your head.
My scalp's still peeling.
Yeah. Dude, there's people outside.
Dude, they're like,
they're gonna what
I'm
is
going to have to call the FBI now.
Well, oddly enough, that would play with the theme of the film. Not the
Yeah.
theme, the plot. Anyway, we'll get to that in a second. I'm Mike, and this is Sam.
Yo.
Yo, Weezee and Slammy B. We are 2/5 of the 90s cover band, The Wet Bandits, and this is the Wet Bandits podcast / the Wet Bandits recorded audio transmission for today. We cover 90s discographies. We look at a band's full collection, and we just like to look at how they evolve and what things we like and what things we don't, obviously. That's what most podcasts are about. It's just two dudes that know each other, like getting together and talking about stuff they like and stuff they don't, and hopefully people like to listen to it. I mean, it's not that much deeper than that, right? I listen to a lot of podcasts.
Uh-huh.
I shouldn't say that. I listen to a lot of a few podcasts. Like, when I get into something, I'm like, I got to hear all these.
Yeah.
You know? And generally what it always boils down to is I just like listening to the people. I don't care what they are talking about. Like, their personalities are good, though. It's
Yeah.
a lot less about. With the exception of, like, a Serial or something. Serial, like, the story is good. And that's
What?
important. Serial, the podcast?
Never heard of it.
Yes, you have. Like, Adnan killing his girlfriend, hey?
No.
Oh my God. Well, anyway, you should listen to that, man. It's pretty good if you like true crime.
Dude, I don't really get into that.
Oh, okay. Well, that's okay. They did another one. It's put on by NPR, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah, they like sponsored it originally.
Dude, I love NPR.
Yeah, that's why I'm surprised you've like never heard of it. But they also did this one called Shit Town.
I remember you talking about that one.
Dude, Shit Town is great.
What
Well,
did they talk about?
the first 4 eps are great, and they're all good. But like, the really interesting part is in the beginning. But I don't know if I want to tell you because it's a big spoiler. Do you want me to tell you? Okay.
Tell
Spoiler
right now.
alert for anyone who wants to listen to Shittown. The kind of main character who they're profiling, he kills himself in the middle of the series. He's like this really eccentric guy in Alabama. Like Hicktown, Alabama. Not my description, his. And he basically just he's just a real interesting character. I don't know how else to say it. Like, that among many of the very strange things he does, he spent a lot of his money like helping this tattoo shop stay alive, even though he acts like he hates everyone there.
Uh-huh.
He kind of like bemoans the fact that everybody in his hometown like doesn't try to make something of themselves, but he also like while he does that publicly, privately he like tries to help them as much as possible, or so it seems. He also is like an expert clock maker, not maker, but like fixer.
Yeah.
Like, he can fix these antique clocks that like most people have no idea how to do anything with. And he's just like this. He's very intelligent, but he's also just like another Alabama hillbilly or whatever. Oh, and he has a bunch of tattoos himself. Like, even though he talks about what a waste these people are, like getting all these tattoos when they could be making something of themselves. He has his own like full
Maybe he like
shirt.
realized.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
But it's really interesting.
What these people know, man.
Yeah. So anyway, that was our episode on Shittown, the podcast. Just kidding. We are, well, we're not done with housekeeping yet. Because you know what you got to do if you're listening to this? Look, if you've made it in
which order?
5:30, we're 5:30 deep right now. You better be subscribing. You better be rating, and you could review if you like.
Yeah.
Definitely those
Any
first
new?
two.
Any new?
Dude, I forgot to look again. But hopefully that just means like
hopefully they're building
there's
up.
like a backlog.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what is building up. Listens.
Hell yeah.
I don't know if this is good or bad, but the Fear Inoculum episode officially has more downloads and plays than any single month of episodes we've ever done.
Wow.
And any singular episode,
Wow.
and more than any singular episode ever that we've done. Not ever in the history of podcasting.
So can people like search Fear Inoculum and that will come up?
For sure.
Okay.
Well, because I tagged it.
Oh.
Like, you know, I always tag the name of the album and stuff. But so that says a lot. Like that episode alone has done more in 9 days. Wait, no, because it was only out on the 2nd. So more in 7 days than we've ever done with all our episodes in a whole month. Like that's kind of embarrassing, but also neat.
Yeah.
And take the month part out, like, you know, because, for example, our Boy Named Goo episode has been out in the airwaves for over a year.
Uh-huh.
It has already had more plays and downloads than any episode we've had, even those that have been out for over a year. So, people were into Tool. The reason I was saying, oh, it's kind of good and bad, besides the fact that, like, that might mean something that it overtook them so easily, but it's also, like, I was worried about that episode. Full disclosure, when we got done recording, you texted me and were like, "What'd you think?" And I was like, "I don't know, man," because there's so much to digest.
Yeah.
That I felt like we kind of just got up here and we're like, "Yeah, so here's this song and here's this song," and like there's just too much. Like even now, I wouldn't be able to talk for a real long time about every song. And
You still got it in your car?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I didn't listen to what we're talking about today in the car at all. I listened to it all at work.
Really? Same?
Yeah. We'll get to that in a minute because we're still not done. We're still not done with all the housekeeping, man. If you want to follow us on Instagram, we do a lot of announcements and social media stuff on Instagram. It's at Wet Bandits Band. Same with Twitter and Facebook. So Wet Bandits Band. Even though we're a podcast, we have the band too, and they got the band was together before the podcast, and so they got all the social media names.
Yep.
Lastly, and this will come into play later, don't forget to hashtag Richard Patrick and Human Clay Not Gourmet and Thumbs Down to the Ground and Climax of the Song, Climax of Your Dong, hashtag 5 high fives, get us a producer, 5 stars only.
Is it Get Us a Producer? Is that from the last one?
No, Get Us a Producer was one that wasn't from a series. It was probably from like the 10th time that I forgot to hit record.
Oh, yeah.
Another reason we need a producer is for those times where, like, I told you I'm sick. Like, if I cough or I have to, like, sneeze or something, we don't have, like, a punch button. Like, everybody's just going to hear it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll try to hit this mute button, but there's, like, a lot of buttons up here. That could be dangerous. I could ruin everything. It's probably better just to sneeze directly into my microphone.
Yeah.
Because I can feel it. The cold's moving down into my chest now.
Dude, you need a karate chop in the chest?
No, I don't think so. Maybe later.
All right.
If things get bad, that'll be like the last resort.
How bad?
Like if
Like
my
you're
voice
dying?
starts to like crackle, like and you can like hear the congestion in my chest, just like karate chop me.
All
right. Watch out for the laptop screen though. My daughter hit me in the face with a bucket yesterday. Yeah, my daughter is 2. She was like, "Daddy, fall down," and so we were falling down, and she fell down, and she had this bucket in her hand, and she flung it right in my face. It was an accident. And I wasn't mad, but it did hurt. I was like, ow. And she could tell, I don't know what my reaction was, but she could tell that it hurt. And she said, "Sorry, Daddy," which she's never said that before. I was like, that's pretty cute. She's like, "Oh, poor Daddy." That's pretty cute, too. Anyway, enough about my child. Let's go. What are we talking about today? Well, This is our palate cleanser episode. Season 3's theme is soundtracks. And today, if you can't guess it from these things that grew out of our head overnight,
Dude.
today we're covering the Coneheads soundtrack. Things are a little muffled in the headphones. Because we also grew like a second set of ears.
A second set of ear holes. A third hand.
Yeah. A second set of ear holes right over our regular ears, and they don't hear as well as our regular ears. So that's a Conehead like de-evolution, like that. They're not as advanced as us in hearing.
But maybe we could hear like further away.
Yeah. It could be. Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah.
It is kind of like underwater. You know how like underwater like is muffled, but you feel like you can hear things from.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it is kind of like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, Coneheads soundtrack. Coneheads was one of those. I feel like there were a lot less Saturday Night Live movies coming out now. Although I could be wrong about that because I don't watch Saturday Night Live. But in the early mid '90s, there were a lot of there seemed like there were a lot of movies coming out based on Saturday Night Live skits.
Oh, really?
Right. Yeah. So like Wayne's World, Coneheads, obviously. This might not have been late '90s. Actually, I don't think it was. But The Ladies' Man, Tim Meadows. That's a good one.
Oh, no.
I mean, that was a good character on Saturday Night Live. The movie was terrible. Yeah. But, those are just a few examples. What Coneheads came out on the soundtrack. I'm not sure what day the movie came out on because we don't care about the movie really. July 20th, 1993 is the date we're concerned with. Number 1 Billboard song on July 20th, 1993, some song called Weak by SWV.
Huh.
You know that song?
No.
I don't either. And I don't care to know.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I could bring it up on YouTube. We have the power of the internets here. We could probably, get it with our cone head. Like antenna. That's probably like a thing that they have. But we don't. And so you're going to have to look up what Weak by SWV sounds like on your own. Number 1.
Put it in the comments.
Yeah.
Try to describe it to us.
Yeah, please do. Number 1 mainstream rock song, That Week, Crying by Aerosmith.
Oh, yeah.
I was crying.
Yeah, that's a good song.
You know that song. Yeah, it's fine. One of the Alicia Silverstone videos.
Don't know.
Do you know who that is?
Nope.
Have you ever seen Clueless?
Nope.
Have you ever seen Batman and Robin?
Which one?
The one that's titled Batman and Robin. The George Clooney one.
Oh, yeah. Is that the one that's Ivy?
Yes. Yes. And she's Batgirl. That's Alicia Silverstone. So Sam, when you're what year were you born?
94.
When you were born in 94, you know Alicia Silverstone more from Batman and Robin than you do from Clueless or the Aerosmith videos. That's the truth.
Is she in a lot of Aerosmith videos?
She was they released, and I'm going to get this wrong because I'm not a huge Aerosmith fan, but they did Crying and Amazing and Crying. And then I think there's a third one, but they did like a trio of videos where the stars were Alicia Silverstone and Liv Tyler.
Oh.
And so as the like sex pots or whatever, which is odd that Steven Tyler's daughter's in the video, but anyway, yeah, they were kind of well known. Number 1 album that week was Zooropa from U2.
I don't know that one.
Dude, I don't either. And I looked up the songs, and I don't know a single song from Europa.
They were probably like so big that like immediately just like the Stones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They've been around for a long time, and they're like any album just...
Well, and U2 had albums and songs that I knew after that.
Oh, yeah.
And this, I do know, actually, from listening to one of my favorite podcasts, that this tour, the inspiration for this album came from this Zooropa tour or whatever they were calling it. Something like that. I might be getting that wrong, too. But they did a lot of experimentation on the tour where Bono would play, like, different characters. Like, he was Mephisto or something in one where he's like the devil, and then he was the fly in one, and that's where those like trademark like big bug glasses he would wear. He would wear those as that bug character, and he would do like Jerky Boys stuff. Like he would like call the White House he would at the show would like call the White House, maybe not the White House, but he'd call famous people and be like, "Can I get 30 double cheeseburgers or whatever?" Like it's kind of a weird thing, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, weird tour, probably a weird album because, I mean, I don't want to say I'm not a U2 fan, so it's not fair to be like, well, I don't know any of these songs, so it probably wasn't very good.
Dude.
But I mean, for real, I had never heard of any of them. So
sounds like I would be interested into it.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
We might look at some U2 stuff at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably at one time definitely the biggest band in the world.
Yeah.
So probably appropriate. Anyway, Coneheads, not the biggest album in the world.
Or band.
Or movie. I did watch the movie. Actually, I kind of watched it a time and a half.
I've never seen it.
Dude, it sucked.
I saw the ratings weren't very good.
No.
Isn't there like a second one?
Oh, really? I didn't know that. I'm going to Google it. Coneheads 2.
Return of the Cone.
Dude, that's one of the things about this movie, man. So I kind of made a point. Oh my God. And Cameron Diaz is in it. It's all this. Oh no, that's the original poster right there. This is great radio. When you like. Oh, I'm not sure there is a Coneheads 2.
Yeah, maybe I lied. My cone head isn't working so well.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, I think this was like a clickbait thing, this Cameron Diaz picture, because it's like Coneheads sequel in the works, and she's got her head shaved. So anyway, Coneheads. Not good. What were we saying right before that?
I don't know.
Oh, man. Well, I'll just...
seen it, bro.
You hadn't seen it, and I watched it like 1.5 times. Did you hear that wheeze in my...
Yeah.
That's why they call me Weezee, man.
Do you need a karate chop, dude?
No, not yet. Coneheads, like I said, it was a Saturday Night Live like skit. And the reason I opened the podcast the way I did and was supposed to... I got it all backwards, but I called the podcast a pre-recorded audio transmission or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, to me... The joke of Coneheads that's supposed to be hilarious, besides the fact that their heads are cones, is that they say things weirdly, right? Like, they take normal things, they speak English, but the way you can tell, like if you were in a dark room and couldn't see anything, the way you could tell that you were with a conehead and not a regular human being is they would call, like, an oven a mass quantities cooker or whatever. Like... Basically, what these people are is just a way less efficient speaking race than all of Earth. That's the funny joke. There's also a lot of stop motion stuff with the Coneheads in the beginning of the movie, where like, you know, they'd eat a whole sub. In fact, this was one of the main draws of the commercial that I remember. Is the girl, the like teenage Conehead? She's like sitting there and she eats a foot-long sub in like 5 bites. But it's all stop motion, so you can tell like it's like pause as she like as her hand like basically like shoves this whole sub down her throat. But they do a lot of that in the beginning, like when Dan Aykroyd's character is named Beldar, right? So when Beldar is like he's got a job at a car mechanic. He's a car mechanic or whatever. He can just do things incredibly fast, but of course it's all stop motion. But there's even stuff where he's just walking and it's stop motion. And I think you're supposed to think like, what a weird alien. Look how he's walking. It's just like he's walking faster and jerkier.
Yeah.
Dude. That
movie's probably so cheap to make.
Oh, yeah.
They're just like...
Dude, but the cast is star-studded.
Oh, yeah.
Now, granted, it was a lot of Saturday Night Live people. But it was full of people that I knew. Yeah. Which was another kind of like weird thing about it. But it is light on jokes. Like my wife, when I asked her, I was like, have you ever seen Coneheads? And she was like, yeah, we used to watch it all the time. It does feel like one of those movies that when I was 12 years old, I might have watched a lot and probably thought was funny. But Saturday Night Live is not a kid's show. So, like, why is this movie... I mean, I know why you would make a movie and cater it towards younger people, because you make more money if it is funny to everyone. But, like, there was just so little that... Like, the only jokes are about how they talk funny, and about how they can kind of do like pseudo amazing things.
Yeah.
Like Beldar, for some reason, has super strength. Like at one point, he lifts a car up, and he has like 5 rows of teeth.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, that's a plot point as well that we'll talk about. But other than that, they just say things in a stupid way. Okay, we'll get to it. So, Conehead,
are they from like a certain planet or something?
They are from Remulac. I think.
Does that like stand for something?
No, I don't think so. So here's a quick. I like to go through the plot because what's the point of doing soundtracks if you're not trying to figure out how the soundtrack plays into the movie? And this one actually, like a lot of soundtracks, and we've said this before, there are some songs that are in the soundtrack that like you hear for literally 3 seconds, and it's like, oh, you recognize it, but it's not. It's just there so it's not empty sounding.
Yeah.
Right? But there are a lot of songs in here that actually play a role in the movie. So,
play it, dude.
Play what?
Play it. What's the first song?
Well, I can't remember unless what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the plot of the movie, and then as the songs come up, I'll be like, okay, so here's where this happens. So the way this movie starts, Beldar and his wife, Primat, I don't know how to say her name. That's how closely I paid attention. But Beldar and his wife.
Beldar and his wife.
Beldar and his wife. We are allies here. We respect and cherish women, but I can't remember the lady's name. It's Beldar and his wife. Beldar and his wife, they are on a mission to Earth. Something happens, like they fall out of the sky or whatever, and they're left on Earth. Mm-hmm. They're abandoned, and they find out that they won't be able to be rescued for 7, made up word for years. They speak everything in English, but they have a different word for years than we do. But you're supposed to get the idea that it's a long time, okay? Hence, Beldar has to get a job, blah, 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 blah. By and by, they get a little bit, they start to, like, work themselves into American culture, and there's also, he's not FBI. This is why I said that the FBI coming by would be sort of topical. There's, like, a employment office agent, like a immigrations officer.
Okay.
That's what he's an
immigrant.
I think he's an immigrations officer.
Yeah.
That is one thing about this movie that is very topical, and I was shocked. The asshole villain is basically like his whole purpose in the movie is to make sure that no immigrants come to America, which I thought was really like. I was surprised because it was 1993. Those were like different times. Right, yeah. But even this is one thing that conservatives like to throw out there. Right. Like there was talk about we have to secure our borders, but this guy was definitely
we have to secure our borders.
Yeah, Michael McKean's character is saying like really trying to keep any immigrants out for any reason. So anyway, he obviously is not a big fan of alien immigrants, and he doesn't know they're aliens yet. I don't think. But anyway, that's not really the point. He knows that they're not supposed to be there. And so he's after them. So Beldar gets these jobs. He's a mechanic and Sinbad's his boss. And that lasts like 5 minutes. And then he's a taxi driver in a bit of maybe racism. I mean, I don't know. Part of it, I guess, is the fact that he has a cone head. And if you are a taxi driver who wears a turban, it kind of covers your cone. But it doesn't. That's part of the joke. Is the cone actually comes out the top of the turban a little bit? But they're listening to songs like this.
I can barely hear it. But this was my favorite song.
This one's your favorite?
Yeah. Sweet.
Sweet enough that I should keep playing it.
What would you? talk alien over this. Welcome to our planet.
We come from France. That's like one of their favorite jokes to say is we come from France. So anyway, you get the idea. It's like a dance beat / Indian thing.
Yeah,
so
that was my favorite.
Ha ha ha, they're Indians. Excuse me. Ha ha ha. He's a taxi driver, so he's got to be Indian or whatever. Right? That's that landed with a thud. Meanwhile, Beldar has gotten his wifey pregnant.
Oh.
And
Beldar.
Yeah, ooh la la. So she's pregnant. She's going to have a little cone. They call them cones. Like a baby conehead person is a cone, which is also odd to me. Like they're not.
Was a young cone.
Seriously, I mean they're not cone. They're not cones. They have cone heads.
Yeah.
They have, they're not shaped like a cone. They've got arms and legs and stuff. Anyway, but she's like, I am with cone. Like I think that's supposed to be hilarious, and it's just like that's stupid.
Got us talking about it, though.
Yeah, it did. Deep thoughts. So. Anyway, Beldar has to leave his job because her water breaks. And of course, it's like a volcanic eruption of water. Like, that's another joke. Is like, when her water breaks, like, it breaks to the max. Like, an ocean falls out of her, her baby canal. Is what they, her cone canal or whatever they would call it. They actually do call giving birth, they call it a birthing spasm.
Spasm?
Yeah, it's not going into labor. She's going to have a birthing spasm or something. See what I mean, though? It's like not...
Yeah.
Anyway, not great. So they give birth to a baby. That baby is played by Michelle Burke when she gets older. Michelle Burke, even as a conehead, little cutie. Yeah, she was in Dazed and Confused. But she was also in this. And I guess, didn't get famous.
Mm-hmm.
But... she pulls it off. Like, she's got a cone. She's bald. She's got a cone head. But she's still cute. Not bad. Chris Farley ends up trying to make out with it later.
Is that who plays Beldar?
No. Chris Farley plays Connie's boyfriend. Oh, yeah. Her name is Connie. Connie Conehead, right?
Connie the Cone. CC.
Yeah, CC, Connie Conehead. And his name is Ronnie Conehead.
Oh, man.
And I think...
R.C. Wow.
Yeah, I think... Well, his last name isn't Conehead, I guess. But he's Ronnie. Ronnie and Connie. And, I mean, I want to do a little film analysis here. I think the reason they picked Chris Farley is because he's fat, and that is the opposite of pointy.
Oh.
Like, round is the opposite of pointy. I mean, round is the opposite of straight, or skin. Fat is the opposite of skinny.
Mm.
But round, is that the opposite? Dull is the opposite of pointy?
Yeah, dull.
And you could describe Chris Farley as dull in shape, I suppose.
Dude, Chris Farley's the man, dude.
I know. He's also blunt.
Yeah.
That's another, like a blunt force. You don't stab with a Chris Farley. You ram with a Chris Farley.
Ram the castle doors
Correct.
Down, dude.
So when that happens, so they give birth to this baby, and then there's a little montage to show us that time has gone by, and you get... Oh no, where's the song? You know what, I had this playlist pulled up, and the song I wanted isn't here, so I gotta play it here. So this is the song that's playing during that little montage. Dude, this is a little sacrilegious, but I'm not like a big Paul Simon fan.
Neither am I.
I could take him or leave him.
Yeah.
There are some songs by Simon Garfunkel that I like.
Yeah.
But I'm just not into Paul Simon that much. including this song. It's okay. It's like the perfect kind of like family growing together montage song.
That they all play like instruments and like sit
No.
around? Oh.
No, but there's a lot of like pictures, and it's called Kodachrome, which was I think it was like a made by Kodak, and and it was like a, I keep wanting to say brand, but it was like a branch of their photography that it was a type of film. That's what I'm looking for. So, and I think it might have been like the first color film. This part of the song is about like, you know, you can leave your black and white. Like I want the colors in my Kodachrome or whatever. I probably have that wrong a little bit too, but that's the gist of it, right? Song's okay. Perfect sort of stupid montage song for like the family growing up, because you got to have 16 or so years pass so that Connie Conehead can be, you know, an adolescent girl. Shortly thereafter, she ends up meeting Ronnie at he's a mechanic, a high school car mechanic, and you know they have a romance. But I forgot one part. Once Connie is, once you realize, oh, she's 16 or whatever now, then Beldar has to take her and her friends to school, and that's where you get this little number.
Oh yeah. What happens here?
We all know Tainted Love.
Uh-huh.
We've all been to an 80s party before. This is the song. They're like scrolling through the songs on Beldar's radio, and then they come to this one, and the girls are all excited about it, which I think is weird. This movie ostensibly takes place in 1993. I think it's supposed to be present day. Mm-hmm. This song is. Why are these girls so excited for this song that came out like when they were 5 or whatever?
I don't know, man.
I don't know. I think teenage girls are more apt to like the pop music that like they're listening that was current then.
Like what?
I don't know. Something else. It smells like Teen Spirit. I don't know. As SWV's what was the number one song back then? Sweat?
Oh yeah.
Weak. Weak. Yeah.
Weak.
Yeah, that song. You like Tainted Love?
No.
I don't like it either, but that is an undeniably good hook.
Yeah.
Like the sound, the
you
synthesizer.
hear it everywhere.
Yep, you do. Yeah. So that's that song. Not really.
I always thought the Josh Homme from Queens of the Stone Age could cover that song really well.
Oh yeah.
You know, like that way he sings.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah, he does sound like that.
You should do it in like a creepy way.
Yeah, you're right. That would be good.
Yeah.
You know who else? Fiona Apple would do that song well. Do you know who that is?
Mm-mm.
You'd know her song if you heard it, but we won't get into it right now. So those were some obvious ones that were in the song, or songs that were in the movie. The other really obvious one, and probably the most famous original that came out of this, is part of the reason, well, really the only reason we're doing this soundtrack, and that is Soul to Squeeze from Red Hot Chili Peppers. This is kind of the love song between Ronnie and Connie. Like whenever they're together, this is the song that's playing. You think this is a top 25 Chili Peppers song?
Definitely.
Top 15?
Top 10.
Top
sure.
10. That was going to be my next one.
Maybe.
You think that's where it stops?
Yeah, because like the top 5, like this is a song that is like borderline fan favorite, borderline in the mainstream.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like people forget about this song and then they listen to it, but they love it.
Yeah.
You know? It's almost like that's the beautiful thing about that song is because
dude,
like.
Yeah. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, no, I
thought
don't have anything else to say.
That I think the same thing. Sorry for the hard stop there, but like even just that intro. Like when we decided to do this, I'm like not that excited about Soul to Squeeze, but the intro, the guitar tones, and just the
rhythm
it's
sections.
so good.
Yeah.
Here it is again, by the way.
So when did the song come out?
93.
Huh, weird. Oh, wait, this isn't off Blood Sugar Sex Magic, is it?
No.
It's later on Californication, right?
No, this is for the soundtrack. This is only on the soundtrack. Like it wasn't on a Red Hot Chili Peppers album on its own.
I'm pretty sure this is on Californication.
No, it's not.
Really?
Yeah.
It might have been put on there on the CD or something.
I own it.
Dude, check real fast.
This is not good radio to check the track list, but it is good radio to prove to Sam that I have a photographic memory of track lists from albums that I already own. So.
Oh, it's Scar Tissue. That's the one I was thinking.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I bet you're thinking of Scar Tissue,
Yeah.
but they do sound similar-ish.
Yeah.
But I think this is better than Scar Tissue.
Yeah,
But people
definitely.
like Scar Tissue a
Yeah.
lot. But I think this one's a little better. Mostly because the bass, the melody that the bass plays is so good. The boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom.
Yeah, it's good. I like the drums.
Yeah. I want to go. The chorus is good too. So, it's a real sing-along song, but it's not a party tune because it is slow. Let me see if I can hit the chorus just right here. Oh yeah.
Like gotta take it slow. When I find my peace of mind, I'm gonna give you some of my good time. Today love smile.
Okay, listen to this one thing at the very end of the right before they go back to the verse. Just listen very closely. I didn't go back far enough. Right here. Did you hear that little?
Yeah.
At first, I thought that was the vocals. I told you I heard this at work,
Oh.
and the speakers weren't as good, and so I was listening to it, and I was like, "Is that like a doubled vocal track that they forgot to cut out?" Because I feel like I'm slandering Anthony Kiedis when I say this. I've never seen them live, except on TV, and Anthony Kiedis can at times be very bad, and his voice, he's not like a classically trained singer.
Yeah.
So like, but he does a lot of like long, sort of like soothing notes, I guess. But that's hard to hold tune all the time. You know, it's a lot easier to kind of sing things quickly that move around a lot. You won't notice when you're out of tune as much. And I was like, did they accidentally leave like a bad vocal take, like right at the very end? And then when I listened really closely, I was like, oh, that's like the bass doing like falling off the note. And
Oh,
it's,
really?
Yeah, and I think it sounds bad. And I mean, I love to overanalyze stuff. So here it is again. Just, oh, I gotta back up just a little bit.
It took my good time to
Dude, that sounds like a guitar to me.
It
Like
could-
like the volume not.
It actually
put
could
that
be.
in there.
Check this out when you slow it down.
peace of mind. I'm gonna give you some of my good time. Today love my good.
Did you hear it? Did you hear it that time?
Just keep playing it. Yeah. Just let it play.
What'd you say?
Yeah, I mean,
What?
play it there. It's like a note. It lasts longer.
Oh. I'm not talking about that.
Oh,
No, I'm talking about the thing that goes. You're talking about the.
yeah.
No.
Today love smile on me.
just the thing, it's unison with his voice. My good time. And like it's the bass or the guitar that's like right as it goes into the verse. It's just a weird, it's not even worth going over this much.
I don't even know if I hear it, man.
Well, hit us up on Twitter if you hear what I'm talking about. But it's just sour to me. I don't know why they left it in there. But they did, you know. I guess that's kind of rock and roll.
Dude,
the reason,
so rock and roll,
the reason I like to listen to stuff like that is because I always, one of the big differences between like television, and movies, and something like a book or a audio recording, is that I get the feeling that written word and recorded music, they have the ability to really make sure that everything's right before they release it, you know? And so when you hear or see mistakes, that's more interesting to me than it is in a movie where it's like, you know, those things do happen, but they're also dealing with like a million different things at once. Whereas this is like, you only have like 20 things to focus on at any given
like
point
Game
in
of
the
Thrones,
music.
they're leaving those coffee cups in there.
That's actually a really good example of what I'm talking about. Like people were really into that, but like, and that is a pretty like obvious one.
Yeah.
But other things like small discontinuities in the movie, like or a TV show, like you'll see like a scene where a clock says a certain time and it'll switch back to a different character and then switch back to the other character and the time will have gone by too much, you know, stupid stuff like that. But this is different. Like what, there are probably at most 18 tracks going on there. You know, all Chad Smith drums, a vocal track, a bass, a couple guitars maybe. You just have to make sure those are all right. And like they chose to leave that in for some reason, even though I think it sounds pretty sour. But who cares? The song's really good. And that's the Ronnie and Connie love song, is Soul to Squeeze.
It's a good song, man.
It is a good song. So that, you know, there's a comedy of, you know, coincidences that occur. There's a dance where you hear this cover of Slash and Michael Monroe doing Magic Carpet Ride. If you don't remember, it was a single, I think, but if you don't remember it, it sounded like this.
Black Betty.
What'd you say?
It's like Black Betty.
Does sound like Black Betty. You like this song?
It's okay.
Really?
I mean, I like the original way better.
Dude, I was going to say, what I was going to say was if any of you bandies out there like this song, we can't be friends anymore. This song sucks.
Dude, could you crank to it?
Is that too harsh?
Could you crank to it?
You want me to crank it right now?
You don't know what we can find.
Who's singing it?
Say that again?
Who's singing?
His name is Michael Monroe. He's from Hanoi Rocks, which is a Finnish rock band, mostly from the 80s. So I should like it because the Finns are my people. I am of Finnish descent, but I hate this. I'm not a huge Slash fan. Anyway, I mean, Slash can play, but I don't love his guitar tone, and Slash outside of Guns N' Roses has never been like super interesting to me.
Yeah.
But just every decision they make with this, I think, is real bad.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to separate myself from the original.
It's probably just like a jam. They were probably just like trying to do it.
It's the lead song on the soundtrack, though.
I mean,
you know?
They probably just made it for like a scene, and maybe it just fits that scene.
They did, but I think usually on a soundtrack, you kick off the soundtrack with like the one you feel is real strong, right? And certainly Magic Carpet Ride is the most I'm deciding if I need to stop myself. No, I think it's the most famous song on here. I don't even like
Bigger
the
than
original
Tainted
that
Love?
much. Like, maybe not. But Tainted Love is second. You
Yeah.
know, so like they're kicking off with the strong ones. So Magic Carpet Ride, I don't love the original, but it's a million times better than this. And I respect them trying to do something different, but like the vocal lines he does, like the "Close your eyes, girl, look inside, girl," like that's one of the better parts of the regular song. And in this, they just make it like a throwaway, like "Close your eyes, girl,
Oh yeah, there's no like.
look inside, girl." You know, it sucks.
In the original, I like that like psychedelic jam
Yeah.
part in the middle.
That's what I mean.
Dude, the first time I ever heard this song was that when I went to go play with Josh and Put in Bay. I never even heard it. And I just like played it.
Wait, the QFM 96 classic rock Magic Carpet Ride you never heard before?
Yeah, before playing.
Dude, are you sure?
Yeah. No, I mean I may have like subconsciously heard it.
Thank
but
you.
I was like never. I wouldn't know how to play it, or I wouldn't be able to hum it.
Sure. Okay. That's kind of surprising.
Yeah.
But at least you said, like, subconsciously. My wife and I get in fights about this a lot. Like, not real fights. We don't fight about much, but she'll say, "I've never heard that song in my life." And it'll be like, I don't know, the Star Spangled Banner. You know, like, it's some song that you couldn't live in the United States
Yeah.
and have never heard before. She'll be like, "I've never heard that song in my life." I'd be like, "Really, never?" She's like, "I swear to God, I've never heard that song before." And is it possible you just don't remember? No, I've never heard it before.
Yeah.
So, anyway, she feels very strongly about the things she's heard and has not heard. I feel very strongly that Magic Carpet Ride by Michael Monroe and Slash is a POS.
Thumbs down.
Do not listen. Thumbs down to the ground, for
Yeah.
sure.
I'd probably give it a thumbs down.
Yeah. There's a Can't Take My Eyes Off of You. This is a classic oldie. You know this jam.
Who's this by?
Morton Harkett. Had to look that up.
I don't know this one, bro.
You're just
I like that snare. Pop, pop.
You really don't know it? What about when it gets to this part?
Oh yeah. Definitely know this song.
Of course you do.
That part just says party. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If it wasn't such a long, slow build, you could make
Yeah.
this a great party song.
Yeah. Let's make it a remix, dude.
The band I was in before we started, the Wet Bandits, played this song.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it fun?
Yeah, it's kind of a fun song. It's okay. So that happened at the dance also. So like Magic Carpet Ride is when you get to the dance and you can see that there's a party, and then that song is what plays when they're like slow dancing. Ronnie and Connie, right? There is also an r.e.m. song in there.
I saw that.
It's a Free World Baby, which I think is also just for the soundtrack. It's kind of a neat tune.
We should probably do an r.e.m. song too.
I was hungry
Yeah.
when I said I never got to sleep. You go ahead. You can get whatever you want. There's a feeling in my belly. It's the new.
I don't love this song, but there's a lot of interesting stuff happening.
Yeah.
You know, the guitar part that's dope, 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 dope,
Uh-huh.
dope, dope. Like, there's a lot of interesting things happening in here.
Yeah.
I wouldn't buy this soundtrack just for that song, but in this day and age of like, you know, you can buy a song.
Right.
You know what though? That's the thing about soundtracks. I think this is one of the songs that you have to buy the whole album to get this song. You know that they don't want you to just get the songs from the
Yeah.
soundtrack. So yeah, I did buy this whole album. Dig.
Dude, nice.
Yeah.
Dude, it's like
you don't know what kind of shitty world we live in.
it's like you go and buy the songs like and you see the cover like do I really have the right album?
Yeah, right.
You know?
Dude, I want to own the physical CD, right?
Yeah.
So I was about to say, do you want to know what kind of shitty world we live in? You can't find this CD new,
Oh, yeah.
but you know what you can find?
What?
You can find it on fucking vinyl.
Really?
Yeah. Ain't that a crock of shit? A little bit. Does anyone really need the Coneheads soundtrack on vinyl?
I don't know, man. Vinyl's crazy.
I know.
I heard the new Teslas are going to be able to play vinyl.
Oh my god. This isn't a world I want to live
Instead
in.
of carrying this.
Thank God thank God I'll fit in on.
Instead of carrying this, let's carry around this.
Yeah. Oh my. Thank God I'll fit in on Remulac as I leave the planet Earth.
Yeah.
And go to my new planet where they still play CDs like sane people.
But I don't know how true that is. I just heard it.
Yeah.
But I'm into that, dude. I'll carry my vinyl in a little briefcase, dude.
That would be funny. That would be funny. Anyway.
People from like years ago, they'd be like,
I'm going to skip the next song. These other ones, I don't know when they happened in the movie. There's also one called Little Renee that's a little bit of a hip-hop song, just in case any, people that weren't white went to see this movie.
Gold plus we ghetto got the natural high. Higher than some Pluto plus we took off clean. Squeezing in the mute request 6 miles tools. You could get just pit like a banana. Pete, roll one of my pants leg up on punk side. Caps and raps and snaps we in the soup. Kevin in the county, I got serious love. 50,000 leagues of black.
D, like I took the 83 trip to 93. Paused at the crosswalk, strutting down street.
I can't wait till we do a real 90s rap discography.
that'd be cool.
Because it's really going to teach us a lot, I think.
Yeah.
I don't have the ability to critique that really. The
No.
beat's okay. I'm not that interested in that song.
Yeah.
I don't know where it happened in the movie. I'm done with it. Okay. The song I skipped is a song called "Fight the Power," but it's not by your Flavor Flav and Public Enemy. This is a cover of that song by Bare Naked Ladies, which I'm not quick to judge on stuff like this, but in 2019 this feels like it just doesn't taste that good to me.
It almost I almost thought they were like trying to like rip off the Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
Like some early chili.
You kind of listening? Here's what I think about this. I think the execution is fine. Like I can kind of listen to it. I think that if you read the lyrics, the fact that the Bare Naked Ladies are doing it is a little gross.
Yeah.
And it's not just because they're white, It's because I think the Bare Naked Ladies, and maybe I'm wrong about this, you can be funny and still like have important things to say. And maybe I'm just totally misreading this. We only listen to this CD for a few days before we have to think about what our, how we really feel about some of these songs. And, with the Browns playing yesterday, I can tell you I didn't listen to this at all. But that was just my way of saying maybe it was less than a week of listening to this. But the Bare Naked Ladies are like, everything they do seems a little tongue-in-cheek. Like everything is supposed to be a little funny.
Yeah,
so I just get this feeling that they're like a bunch of shitheads who are like, wouldn't it be funny if we covered Fight the Power?
Yeah.
And that's
when
gross
it's supposed
to me.
to be like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now
Bunch of assholes.
Right. Now there's a lot of the lyrics are about how we all have to come together, and it's not divisive at all.
Mm.
But then there's the third verse is like, Elvis isn't my hero, he's a racist or whatever. That I got there more quickly than Public Enemy did. But then here I'm gonna try to find it because Bare Naked Ladies take it a step further even.
Let me hear some fight the power. Give blood, fight the power.
kind of cool, right? We're about to get to the third verse, I think.
We got to fight the powers that be. Elvis was a hero to most, Buddy Elvis was a hero to most, Buddy Henson was a hero to most, Buddy Rich was a hero to most, Buddy Hackett was a hero to most, Nutty Buddy was a hero to most, but it never meant shit to me. See how straight out racist, the circle was simple and plain. David Duke, him and John Wayne. Cause it's black and it's proud, and I'm hyped cause I'm in. Most of my heroes don't hear no stamp.
So what's different there is that in the Public Enemy version, they just talk about Elvis. And he's like, Elvis doesn't mean shit to me. Bottom line, he's racist. And these guys take it a step further, because I think in the Public Enemy song, they're like, Elvis, you know, buddy, Elvis doesn't mean shit to me or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so they take that, and instead of saying Elvis, buddy, they don't mean, they take it and do a bunch of buddies after that. So like Buddy Hackett, Buddy Ebsen,
Yeah.
Buddy Rich, Nutty Buddy. And like they're making kind of a joke out of it. I mean, it's all like, you know, straight-laced white guy. I mean, straight-laced is maybe the wrong way to say it. But they're just, you know, white guys or whatever. Your average famous white guys. And then they come around, and I looked up the lyrics and I slowed it down, and they say, I'm racist. Like, Bare Naked Ladies say, I'm racist, which I think you could look at that today and be like, oh, they're being woke. Like, they realize because they're white, like, they're saying they're inherently racist, but like, it is not sinking into the average listener if that's what they're trying to do. Like,
Yeah,
I just think
know.
it's kind of gross.
Yeah, I don't know.
So anyway, if you like Fight the Power, I mean, that's your prerogative. But if you're with me, you should be writing letters to your senator to dissolve Bare Naked Ladies as a band. Just kidding.
Are they still coming out with new music?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know. Do you have any thoughts about that, or do you just not care?
Chimney Changa, the Chinese chicken.
Yeah. Have a drumstick in your brain start sticking.
Did I say that right?
Close enough. I knew
Yeah.
what you were getting at. I don't know.
Dude, fuck those guys.
Yeah, I don't know. That's I don't like it. Not a good look, I would say. Even if your intentions are good, not a good look. Dude, I emailed this song to you today, and I was like, by the way,
Dude,
hidden
yeah.
gem. Do you agree?
Totally.
Here we go. Conehead love for all of you. Is there anything more 90s than this?
Primat, you are my conehead mate. But
It's like at the end.
Dude, of course it's at the end. You know, that's what's so 90s about it. Besides
Yeah.
the fact that it's like just a 90s sounding song where you got like these big drums and all these electronic instruments. It is so 90s to have a movie and have the credits roll with
and-
a song featuring the actors from the movie singing
really?
about themselves. You know? Don't want to hold my cone alone. That's what he's saying. This shitty ass song. You guys need to listen
Should
to
we
this
cover
song.
this?
Dude, I would love to cover this song. Imagine us doing it.
With the Coneheads, you put on the Coneheads for a song?
Yeah, okay. Audience, tell us what you think.
I'll never
Dude, Jeff could do
understand
some
this
funky
planet.
bass behind this.
The way these humans love to ram it.
I much prefer the senso rings and all the timeless joy they bring.
My conehead love is interstellar.
Dude, the music I don't hate.
Yeah. We're also like Tenacious D fans.
Yeah, that's true.
My conehead rule has low resistance. Don't want to hold my cone alone.
I could crank this, dude. It'd sound good in a car.
Yeah.
You could do the backups, dude.
Could never hold my cone. Dude, you know that's my job, is to do the female backup vocals. Not today, though. Not with this illness. But, I mean, when this came on, when the movie was over, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I've never noticed till now how often that happens. Like, Dan Aykroyd especially, like, there's also this movie called Dragnet, which I think was 1988, actually, but it's the same idea. It's Tom Hanks and Dan Aykroyd. It was based on a TV show. And at the very end, it's like Dan Aykroyd rapping about Dragnet. Like, and then Wayne's World, like, that was a little different because Wayne was like half a musician, but like Wayne's World is Mike Myers. But there's also other singers, kind of like in this one, there's other singers. In the Wayne's World theme song, the other singers really are the leads, but like Mike Myers is in there just like yelling stuff.
Yeah.
It's so 90s
Dude,
to do
I never,
this. But
never
dude,
even crossed my mind.
well, yeah, and think about it. Like, what if fucking, excuse me, what if Avengers Endgame, like, Chris Evans gets on there on the mic and is like rapping about being Captain America or whatever, just like rapped the story
People would be
about
like,
what
"What
just
the hell?"
happened. Josh Brolin gets on as like sad Thanos and is
Yeah.
like, you know, the universe belonged to me. You know,
Yeah.
like, why did people do this?
Dude,
I
'cause
get that
everybody was having a good time, bro.
I guess. Like, I get, okay, that was maybe a bad example because, like, Avengers isn't a out-and-out comedy and, like,
Yeah.
Coneheads is, but I don't know. Think of a comedy from now, like...
Like Step Brothers.
Yeah, like well... it would kind of fit in with Step Brothers, wouldn't it?
They don't have a song playing.
No, they don't, but if they did, it could work.
Yeah, definitely.
But you know what it wouldn't be? It wouldn't be this, like, electro dance pop
Yeah.
funk.
Because it's like alien music.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, not yeah, I get what you're saying, but what I'm saying is like all these '90s comedies would end this way.
Oh, like this weird alternative.
Yeah,
Oh.
Monster Squad. That was a movie from my youth as well.
Oh.
Monster Squad. It didn't have Dan Aykroyd, and they weren't. But it was like the song was like Monster Squad, and it's like it was the same like sound, like synth pop. I don't know. I don't. It's funny to me.
Dude, it's
And
awesome.
Monster Squad, not a comedy. I mean, there's funny parts, but yeah. Oh man,
I wonder who wrote this song.
I didn't look it. I did look it up, but only to make sure that Dan Aykroyd actually wrote the lyrics. And
Oh, yeah.
spoiler alert, he did. So, you know, when we're done with an album, we always do cover, cut, and hidden gem.
Absolutely, I would cover the Conehead song.
Me too, bro.
Yeah.
And that is knowing that Soul to Squeeze is on here.
Yeah.
Like, I like Soul to Squeeze, and we could do it, and people would like it, but, like, absolutely, I want to cover Conehead
Yeah.
Love.
Crank the bass for that song. Get the people dancing.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe we should do it, bro. Maybe we should, like, throw it in one of those dance and, like, put it in there.
Oh, yeah. We're trying to put together, like, a dance set, just right after No Diggity, just like
Yeah.
Conehead Love. Now we got a real banger for you guys. Yeah, they'd love that. Park Street Tavern.
Yeah.
Throw our Coneheads on. I mean, leave our Coneheads on. Take our hats off that
our
have been
human heads
disguising
off,
our
and
yeah.
so we can show off our coon heads.
Yeah. I would cut Magic Carpet Ride, the very first one, because it sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, there's other
mean-
songs that suck, but at least they're like different.
I really like that Indian song. That's probably my hidden gem.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would go ahead and cut Magic Carpet Ride too,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, my hidden
Sorry,
gem is
Slash.
also Conehead Love because I emailed that to you today. And because Soul to Squeeze was a single, I can't choose it as a hidden gem. So,
Yeah.
but let's be real. We're just doing this to do it. We're not,
Yeah.
you know, it's not a, it's a soundtrack. That's always a hard one for us to do.
Dude, what if someone came up to you like, dude, that is the soundtrack to my life?
The Conehead soundtrack?
Yeah.
I'd probably like hug him and say I'm sorry. What a horrible life.
Dude, I might like download that Conehead song now.
You
See,
should.
like, if
well,
you
I
make a
could just-
playlist on Spotify, you could like throw that shit in there, and people are like, "What the hell is this?"
Well, maybe we'll try to do that.
Yeah,
Did we can talk about this off mic.
yeah. Bye.
About all the trouble I've
Bye.
had. Sam says bye. Next week, we start Red Hot Chili Peppers, starting with the self-titled Red Hot Chili Peppers album. Dude, I'm excited to start that.
I mean, really, I'm gonna buy it for sure.
Yeah, I bought it. It is
Pretty raw, probably.
it is real. Yeah, it's going to be raw, and I think the discography as a whole is going to have ups and downs, my
Yeah.
friend. There's going to be a lot of diverse opinions,
Okay.
album to album, I think. So anyway, that's what we'll do next. Hey, don't forget to subscribe and rate and review and follow us at Wet Bandits Band and do all the. We need a soundboard, a scratchy soundboard. You know what we haven't done yet that we meant to do today?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We don't have a Craig's Crazy question this week, but we do have a Seth's silly soliloquy? I don't know. I couldn't come up with that off the top of my head, but a friend of ours, listener Seth, he was like, hey, if you don't have a Craig's Crazy question, I've got this thing for you. He watched this commercial with Jeremy Renner. I don't know. You guys have probably seen this. Jeremy Renner has this commercial where he is going to a gig. It's a Jeep commercial. And for some reason, he needs to take the Jeep, I don't know, cross country, and he puts these other people on his tour bus. And on the way to his gig, Jeremy Renner is listening to Jeremy Renner's band in the car on the way, which is kind of lame. If you guys didn't know, it's kind of like wearing your own band's t-shirt to your gig, listening to your own band in the car. So, Seth's silly question was, what musician listens to his own music in the car?
Do we both know, dude?
We absolutely both know. When we proposed the question, it was like, oh yeah, duh.
Yeah.
Should we just do 3, 2, 1 and say it?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Richard Patrick. Obviously.
Yeah.
Because that's why that hashtag Richard Patrick started. Because he was clearly following his own hashtag of his name, and then he liked our photo.
Yeah.
But even though we were like trashing him. So, the answer is Richard Patrick listens to Filter
That guy,
albums.
dude. Let me tell you something.
Let me tell you about Richard Patrick. He is definitely listening to Filter albums in his Jeep to this day. To this day.
Probably has like pimped out rims, and he's probably like wearing some weird ass shades, and he's probably like, dude, Filter's so good.
Yeah. I did think of a second one.
I'd still join his band though.
Oh yeah, for sure. For real. Even though he apparently doesn't pay dick, and that's why he's partly a shithead.
Still join it.
Yeah. I thought of another one though. Just, because that one was so easy. I think another one might be Fred Durst. Do you know who Fred Durst is?
No.
He was the singer for Limp Bizkit.
Oh.
And I'm not saying that he would because he like sucks or something, but I get the feeling that Fred Durst really liked being famous.
Yeah.
And really liked that Limp Bizkit was big. And they just like fell off the face of the earth.
Uh-huh.
And
you think he like sits at home in his chair and just
he's like, God, these were the good old days, man. Like, I did it all for the nookie. I was rearranged. I ate the chocolate starfish and I drank the hot dog flavored water.
Ew, dude.
That was the name of one of their albums.
Oh,
That's why
really?
I said that. Yeah. I mean, that is disgusting that I said it that, because that is what it's referenced. When I was an innocent child, and I was in high school when that came out, and I like didn't get it.
Uh-huh.
But now I get it,
Get
but that's
wet.
what Fred Durst. Get away. Oh, bye.
Bye.
Hey, yeah.